Okay, my name is Shori, and I'm doing a review for the Fernbank Science Center. I'm doing this review because I had a really hard time finding a review that satisfied my questions in regards to the Science Center. Science Center is free to go to. It is. It's in Atlanta. There's no restaurants near it. It's just there by itself, across the street from an elementary in a neighborhood. It's very small. That was one of my questions, was the size of it. I wanted to know, I wanted to go visit the exhibit hall and the library and the gardens that the website spoke of before the planetarium show that we had planned on attending. And so I needed to know how large it was so that I would know how much time before the show started that we needed to walk around. Well, when we arrived, it looked really great on the inside when you first walk in. They had, their exhibit hall was very, very small, wasn't much. It was like a circle. You first enter and there's dinosaur things, but it's like just a couple of dinosaur things. And then you walk down a hall to your right, and there are pictures on either side of the hall of frogs. And then as you go, it's like a bird kind of exhibit, but it's like two cases of birds, and that's their bird exhibit. And then there's about beehives, but I guess at one point in time they had actual live bees on display. They no longer have that. It's just an empty case that talks about when there were bees there, and they actually used to have a camera that was inside the beehive where you could actually see the bees doing stuff in the hive. But then they have live amphibians. They have frogs and snakes and some lizard things. And then you go down a set of stairs, and there's more displays of birds and animals, and they're like taxidermy stuff where they're all stuffed, and they say what they are, but they don't really give any history behind them or anything like that. Then there's like this kaleidoscope thing. You stand up inside of it, and it's a triangular stand with 3 mirrors, and it's kind of neat to go in it and see, you just go on and on and on for infinity. And then there's a Apollo 6 display, and that's kind of neat. And then there's turtle display. But when I say it's a display, it's like a display. It's not like an area where there are many things in regards to that are displayed. It's just a display, one display, like one turtle shelf with a turtle and some shells and some skulls and some facts. And that's it. So it took us maybe 30 minutes to do the entire exhibit hall. Then we decided to go check out the library. Considering this would be more of a place that you would take your kids to go to, the library kind of was more for adults, not so much for kids. There were some books that could entertain children that were older, 6 or older. Anything younger than that, not so much. The librarian seemed a bit disturbed that I actually brought my children in there. The library is very, very small. One long table going down the center as you first walk in, and then shelves to your left and to your right. And then we could not find any signs that told us where the gardens were. So we went outside to the front, and we walked around. We didn't see any entrance into the gardens. And then my daughter asked the receptionist, and you had to go out back. Considering it is winter at the moment, I understand that their gardens were not flourishing, but it did leave something to the imagination. There are picnic tables in the back, so if you did plan on, coming and traveling and being there about lunchtime instead of, going somewhere and eating, you could just pack something and eat outside. They have a beehive that has live bees, but you can't, there's like little honeycomb windows that you can peek through, and the honeycomb is far back within that it's like a shed with windows, and you can look in it. And the vegetable garden, I'm sure in the spring and summer it would be really awesome the way they have it set up. But when we went, it just was not fun at all. It's just walking around looking at dead things. They even had a butterfly area where there would have been butterflies and hummingbirds that would have been attracted to that, and you might have actually seen something like that. But when we went, everything was dead. And across a walkway, there was a chicken coop with roosters and chickens, and that was interesting, especially I have a little one, and he thought that was entertaining. Other than that, I mean, if you're interested in their planetarium shows, that was the best part of our whole trip. I mean, it's free to get into the exhibit hall. It's free to get into the science center. So, I mean, considering it was free, I mean, it was something to do. I did have to drive almost an hour to get there, considering I live nowhere near Fernbank. But that was the best. It was like a 35, 40-minute show. And it was great. The kids loved it. It was very entertaining. That was the best thing. I mean, I would drive the hour just to go to the show. And we went to see the Molecularium, and that was really awesome. They had another show afterwards, but for adults, it's $7 to see it. And for kids, it's $5 each. I have 3 kids, but the baby I didn't have to pay for. And they have a Saturday morning show that's free, and I don't know how long it is, but they talk about the previous night sky. That was another question I had, like what do they do and how much is that? That's actually free because on the website it doesn't say anything about that. It just has like a poster that was created. That's I think at 11 a.m. on Saturdays, and it's free. They talk about the stars and stuff, and then there's another show that's going on right now. I forget what it's called, but that's the same price. So I guess like their special shows are $7 for adults, $5 for kids, for each kid, and then the Saturday morning show is free. And then they have a Thursday, Friday night show, and I don't know how much that is, but I do know that they have that on the website. So that's my review of the Fernbank Science Center. So aside from the center and the exhibit halls itself, the planetarium was definitely worth going. So good luck, and I hope you enjoy it.